Um,
I
but
feel you.
yeah, bro. So we got a couple topics we want to talk about, y'all. Uh, let's talk about. I think Joey brought up. Let's talk about this Dame Dash situation. You had an interesting take on that, Joe. What was your what's your position and what conversation that you want to bring?
All right, so there's a lot we don't know about the whole Dame Dash Jay Z situation. I feel like every year we get a little bit more details that we didn't get the last years. But a detail that I got about it is that uh allegedly uh Dame Dash was like living luxury on the money, um on their money, on like Jay-Z's money or whatever collectively. What I don't know how they like gave out the money, but supposedly he was overly spending money, and I guess Jay Z didn't like that. And then on top of that, he was messing up money that Jay Z could have got because I guess Dame Dash, the only way for him to get his way, he had to yell. So some executives didn't like that. So Jay Z lost on a lot of money there as well. Um, so like I understand like Dame uh put Jay Z on, but you could only do so much with loyalty. Like, what about Dame Dash doing those things to where he's like, all right, I'll wash my hands. Like you double cross me, Jay Z. So yeah, I have to side with Jay Z, man. He had to move away from him. Can he still help him? Yeah, but if you took a lot of money off the top back in the day, I don't think I have to help you anymore. So that's my take on that. You know?
So, is your question about are you questioning if Jay Z should feel guilty and feel like he should be helping Dame in some form or fashion?
No, I'm trying to say like I feel like Dame Dash slighted Jay Z in multiple ways, and because of that, I don't think Jay Z owes him anything.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like for
Right.
instance, this is just an extreme situation. Say, say if I put you on, Ken. Say if I put you on, Ken, and then I did something disrespectful to you, and you're like, nah, he did something disrespectful to me. I can't help him out, even though he put me on. Like I understand that. But if we're still bros and we're still good, even if we're not talking as much, then I would understand. Like, yeah, you should help him. Like he put you on. But I feel like he did too many things to Jay Z, and Jay Z probably did some things to him, and it's just they don't neither has to help each other out at all.
Well, I'll say this. I think maybe the way that you're looking at it may not be exactly what it is. So, from my understanding, and I followed Rockefeller, back when they first came out in the '90s. Um, oh shoot,
Who
what
dog is
the
that?
hell was that? That was the Rot, ROT.
That was the
Yeah,
rock.
right. Yeah, right.
That was my
The
fault.
Rock.
Holla. Nah, but it wasn't a situation where Dame put Jay on, man. They came together. Jay came into the game with his bag, and they formed Rockefeller Records together. Um, Jay took the artist approach because his artistry is what birthed that label. Everything that they built, together was amazing. But just like any business, man, things grow apart. You can tell that their personalities were different, bro. Dane was a lot more outspoken, vocal, and brash. Jay Z more reserved and calculated. Um, and sometimes I think Dane may have, you know, overtalked himself, but sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes you got to talk yourself into certain situations. However you get it, you get it. I definitely understand why they separated. Jay Z had different aspirations. Um, I think what the media and what's being misconstrued right now is that people, I guess common people think that Dame Dash is like legit broke, meaning, he got to file unemployment somewhere, something like that. Nah, man. What happens is in the media, especially us in black entertainment, um, we're always judged by the last thing that we did, by what we were. We don't get an opportunity to evolve. Our community doesn't accept growth. It doesn't accept progression. So Dame is 56 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? He's put all his kids through college. He's established business for his kids. He's a hell of a foundation. So when people think he fell off, he broke, nah, not at all. I think that's just our community of trying to insult somebody for not being what they once were. He'll never be Dame Dash anymore. There's never going to be a Dame Dash or a Diddy anymore, because the record industry doesn't even operate like that. So for people to try to compare him to what he was, that's crazy. Also, if you think about from from the other standpoint of Jay-Z's standpoint, Jay-Z, he did what he was supposed to do. He secured his business interest. um, the only disagreement they had when they went separate was that he wanted access to his masters. He couldn't get it, so he positioned himself in a way so that he could get control of his artistic intellectual property.
Hmm.
So he did what he had to do. He protected his asset, and he went on to make moves in the way that he makes moves. I think it's crazy for us to sit here, and when I say us, I'm talking about the black community that keeps strung in these scenarios and narratives along about these people. I think we so ignorant to sit here and talk about two of the most successful African American men to ever come out of our community. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? There's not
but
too many.
my thing is Dame Dash and Jay Z already acknowledged that Dame Dash put Jay Z on the map. Like, yeah, Jay Z had money, but he didn't have money to where he has now. So I don't understand what
So
do you
so
mean by he didn't put him on.
he didn't, brother. So let me explain. Just because you have money, especially in the record industry, just because you have money don't mean that you're on. Jay-Z's talent is what got Rockefeller Records to where it is. They may have had the money to create and initiate the label, but if you don't have something like Jay-Z to promote, what do you do? What do you do?
You look for
So,
somebody else that has the talent. Like Jay Z wasn't even all that talented like that. There,
uh-oh,
you know how
now we
many?
having a conversation.
Listen, you know how many rappers in New York that could have blown up if Dame Dash would have put his backing behind them. Like Jay Z is not that special.
I'm gonna tell
Hey,
you
he
like
is.
Jay-Z
Hey,
said.
he is right on that.
Oh, okay. Make
During
another
that
hoe.
time though, Jay Z wasn't. This is why Dame Dash took a chance on him. That's why it's so big. People saying that didn't nobody want Jay Z back then. Dame Dash is the
No,
one that
brother.
was pushing Jay
Right,
Z when he
No,
first
brother.
right.
That
came.
that's
Nobody wanted
incorrect.
Jay Z.
That's
This is what Dame
incorrect.
No,
Dash. This is
Jay-Z.
what Dame Dash is saying. Exactly what
everybody
Corey
is
said.
saying. You know the guy Choke No Joke. You should listen to a lot of his takes. He
Do,
can
do
tell
y'all want
you. This is
speculation or
why
y'all
he
want
was.
facts?
How is
This
it
is why it was
speculation
so.
if Dame Dash, the one who's part of this, what we're talking about, said this out his mouth, word for word, what Corey just said? How is that speculation, please?
That is the truth, dog. Nobody wanted Jay Z. That's why
So
even Nas,
so
when he went, he said it. You went from jazz to Kane to Big to Irv. He's jumping from people to people. Jay Z wasn't nothing at first. That's why it's so big. Dame the one put him on, and he outgrew him. Like what you said, he stood on a lot of principles. He wasn't all flamboyant. He went more to the business side versus being that flamboyant side when he got his opportunity, is what happened. He started making deals for
okay.
himself. He kind of went behind Dame back a little bit and started doing more
I don't think he.
business ventures by himself.
A lot of
I
bit
don't
he
think
went
he went
behind his
behind
back.
Dame's back. But let me explain. I don't think y'all understand how Rockefeller got formed. Rockefeller got formed because when Jay Z had his first, like, I think he had one or two mixtapes out, he started getting a lot of attention from different record labels, and he didn't personally like the deals. He did not want the splits. So he wanted to establish his own label. So he got with Dame Dash, and they together, with Jay's money and Dame's money, formed Roc-A-Fella Records. Part of them was the fact that Jay had part ownership of the label. He didn't want to sign to a label that had control over him. That was the thing. That's how he came about. Jay Dame Dash did not make or create Jay-Z. Yeah, Jay-Z was rapping and Jay-Z had a buzz, but he had an opportunity to get signed by a few other labels, but he didn't want that deal. He wanted he couldn't get the deal that he wanted, so he created his own label.
All right.
I think when y'all talk about somebody made somebody, neither one of them guys made one another, bro. I don't think Jay-Z owes Damon Dash anything outside of the fact that if you have an unwritten understanding, which I think Dame feel like may have been some additional loyalty that should have been there. Um, and
What about
it just shows that Jay Z was just a more savvy businessman, and he was
Let
more
me
business focused before
right?
Dame got an opportunity to really understand business.
What about Cameron and Dame? Because it seemed like everybody coming at Dame.
Well,
And
I can be honest with you, bro. Um, I side with Dame in the sense that I understand what was happening. He's he is he's almost a senior now, y'all, and he's still involved and scrutinized by an industry that created who he was 30 some odd years ago, bro. So when you see him, they catch him on the camera, his teeth falling out. Bro, let's keep it a buck. Most black people from our culture, they ain't going to the dentist. He was going through stuff that that a lot of us go through. But I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. He went and got his stuff fixed. That mean
right.
he could afford that. You know how many black men are walking around without dental coverage, without health care,
But
right?
Cam and
So he got
Mace, hey,
ridiculed
look,
because of that.
Cam and Mace
Hold
went
on.
got teeth too.
Yeah, both of them got teeth. Yeah. So but he got ridiculed for that. Right now, he had to file bankruptcy. Everybody who knows business understands that bankruptcy is a strategic move. I filed
Right.
bankruptcy twice. I'll do it in a second. But to the people who don't know, that makes you look like you broke, like you losing
That
something.
makes it look like
50
you
Cent
broke.
filed
Right.
bankruptcy. Yeah. Let me tell you why I
so
filed bankruptcy. I filed bankruptcy to protect my assets so that I get away from liability. If I make a business decision or a mistake, I give myself a fresh start. Does that mean I'm broke? No. Don't work like that, brother.
so question for you. Do you think do you think the talent is worth more than the businessman, or do you think the businessman is worth more than the talent?
Business acumen would always outlive talent because business acumen
Exactly.
is intelligent enough to find talent.
Exactly. So that's why the
But
Dame and the Jay-Z thing is Dame all the way. Dame put Jay-Z on. He was the most important thing in that situation because he's the businessman,
Right.
hands
Exactly.
down.
The producer, he did
who
clothing
who
line.
who
That's all Dame. All that
no no
clothing
no
line and all that good
no no
stuff. That's
no.
all Dame. That
Let me
wasn't Jay
explain.
Z.
Let me explain. Let me explain. I'm glad you said that. So I want you guys to understand there are multi elements to business. One element is marketing. Dame is a hell of a marketer. He's a hell of a marketer. Jay Z understands the back end, the paperwork, the strategy, right? Those both are necessary in order to create business. Just because we saw Dame talking and making moves, do y'all see what Jay Z has done? He was making moves as well. Sometimes the best moves are the moves that you don't know about until the moves are done.
But we're
That's
talking
why
And
about early.
I'm not judging.
we are talking about
We're talking
early though.
about early
We're talking about
in the
early, Cam.
friendship. We're not talking about later on.
Right.
Yes, Jay-Z outworked Dame Dash because it
Right.
looks like Jay-Z has more money, right? But we're talking about early on. Who was more important, the talent or the businessman? And you just agreed it's the businessman. So
Yes.
because of that spark right there, I have to give it to Dame Dash. Like if it wasn't for him, Jay Z would not be nowhere where he's at now. He probably would be locked up somewhere or dead or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
So okay. So let's look at it like this. You gotta be careful to talk about what's more important. Jay-Z is a once in an eternity talent. So Dame Dash wouldn't be Dame Dash without the connection and the relationship that he had with Jay-Z.
Stop
If
it. Not
Jay-Z
true,
wasn't
man.
Yeah, you got to stop that, Ken.
so
Stop,
okay, so
man.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it then. Name another artist that Dash is developed. Go ahead, I'll wait.
He had them all. He had
And that
Kanye.
they're
He had
successful.
Benny Siegel. He had them all,
No,
man.
he,
He
no,
was
he
the
didn't.
one bringing
No,
them
he didn't.
in.
No, he didn't. Kanye was a producer.
Cameron, Dipset, Dame. That's all Dame, dog. That's all Dame.
Now it's not
That's
Dame's
all
fault
Dame.
that they wasn't able to
Let
take
me
that spark.
explain the reason. What attracted those artists to the label? It was the success of Jay-Z. Are y'all crazy? Do y'all not know what Reasonable Doubt did?
We
Do
talking
y'all
about
not know
early
what
though,
Volume One
Ken.
did?
We
Yeah,
keep talking
that's
about
Reasonable
early.
Doubt was his first. You know what In My Lifetime did? You know what Annie did? You know how many number one albums he put out? That's what brought people and established Roc-A-Fella Records. It was off the back of what Jay-Z did. Not to say that Dame Dash wasn't making moves. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm trying to tell you, you need both. But the advantage of Jay-Z is that Jay-Z had, if not just as much, if not more, business acumen than Dame Dash.
You should listen
Starting
to
out,
Choke. You should listen to Choke No
And
Joke a little bit.
nah, I ain't finna listen to nobody's choking. No
Huh?
grown man is choking.
No, you know who
I said
Choke
no,
No
I ain't
Joke
missing
is
listening.
though? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I'm talking stuff, man. I'm being facetious. What is
Oh,
this we got on
uh,
the screen right here on YouTube?
yeah, Mike, what's up? Mike, check 1 2 1 2.
what was our other topic? What was we talking about?
Uh,
Basically, does Jay-Z owe Dame Dash like a bailout, basically? And on
Well, I
top
think
of that,
we're
what like
establishing no.
yeah, and then on top of that, like off the Dame subject, like where's the loyalty at? If someone puts you on or does something nice for you, where's the loyalty at in the culture?
you
Yeah,
keep saying put you on, bro.
He
don't
put him
nobody.
on, bro.
I
Like I
guess
don't
we gotta
understand how you
define.
don't.
We gotta define what "put you on" mean. I guess.
Bro, he didn't put
Okay,
I
them on.
came into the
They're
game
two
100
drug
million
dealers.
strong.
They're two
What you
drug
say?
dealers that put their money together to start a record label. So nobody put nobody on.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mike Check Productions.
I disagree. Listen,
I disagree with that too.
listen. If it wasn't for Dame Smarts early on, they wouldn't be where they're at now. Period, yo. I don't understand how y'all don't understand that or
I
see
don't
that.
understand that either, man.
Like,
How y'all
how are
don't
we? What are we missing? Y'all are smart as hell. How
So
do y'all not understand
I
that?
just think they in love with Jay-Z because he is a quote unquote
I'm not in love
billionaire.
with Jay.
I
I'm not
think.
in love with Jay-Z. I just have a problem with the he put Jay-Z on. That's the only problem I have.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you
Uh,
this question. I'm gonna ask you this question.
Yeah.
If we look at Jay-Z, if he didn't have Dame, do you think Jay-Z would be as famous and have as much money as he does now without Dame? Yes or
yes.
no?
It'd have just been a different path. Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
my god.
A-
Oh
uh,
my god. Y'all,
Bro, if
y'all
he
don't know about
I'll give you.
hold on, hold
I'll
hold on,
on.
hold
give
on,
you
hold on, hold
that.
on, hold on.
Can I speak, please? I just spoke for 20 minutes.
Oh
Let me
my
just get
god.
this out real quick.
Corey,
If
you
you
can't
telling me that Dame put Jay on and then they grew together and Jay pivoted and became a billionaire, then obviously Jay could have been a billionaire without Dame.
no, that's not true because some people need you to help them to level 5, and then once you get to level 5, they can go from 5 to 100.
I thought we just established 10 minutes ago that a boss, no matter what happens, can. What was the comparison you said between the artist and the person who's putting them on? That they can make it shake no matter what. So Jay was gonna make it
No,
shake no matter what, bro.
that's not how it works, bro. Like I guarantee you, once I get to a certain level, right? So say if y'all help me get to a certain level, and from that level, I'm able to be in the room with a certain person, and then boom, I explode. I'm gonna be like, yo, if it wasn't for y'all, I would have never been able to get to those rooms because I was with y'all to where the spark started, and then boom, from there, I just got put on. Like I just don't understand how y'all think
And,
that he
but
was just
today,
found another way.
what you said today, that don't even count. What you said, they don't count that today.
What do you mean, Corey? What you talking about?
They look at it like, well, if it weren't for you, I'd have went this way and did the same thing. They don't count the avenue that you took. They
Right.
truly don't count
No,
that
we
today.
count. Hold on, we count the avenue that he took, but the avenue that he took is not God Almighty. It was just the vehicle that he hopped on to make it to where he is. If Dane wouldn't have been there, Jay would have used another vehicle to get where he is. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not
You
trying
right
to be funny.
about that. You right about that, because even Nas said in the ether, Jay-Z went from Jazzo to Big Daddy Kane to Irv to who else? He just jumping from person to person.
That's what hustlers do.
Even what he did with R. Kelly.
That's what hustlers
Right?
do. What's the problem? Ain't that right, Ken? Ain't that what you do?
I
You
mean,
hop
I think
from
the
one bitch to the
problem
next
is,
bitch to the next bitch.
I think Jay-Z is the backstabber. And that's how he coming up.
Okay.
He just did his boy the same way. I don't know Puffy. I never did nothing with him. Like, dude, really? And how everybody let that just pass, like he telling the truth. You know?
Yeah, that was
It's
cap. We knew
just,
that was cap. Yeah.
but what I'm saying is nobody challenged Jay-Z on that. Everybody just let it go. And it's so much other stuff though, man. It's a lot of stuff that we don't know that's behind the scene too. So we can't say fully exactly what's, you know.
So you said something about God, Mike. I'm not trying to be funny, but how does God play a role in what we're talking about?
No. He said that ain't the only path. You know, it could be another path. That ain't the only God
Right.
given path, is what he
You
was
sitting there
saying.
trying to deify Dame as if it wasn't for him, then Jay wouldn't have got on. Like you're deifying Dame. That's why I use the word God.
They really fell out over Aaliyah, to tell you the truth. That's really why they fell out.
So basically, y'all are saying that when we're born, there's a certain end goal that we're going to achieve,
No matter
what. And then there's like a bunch of paths to get there. Is that what you're saying, Mike?
Say that again.
That's what Mike just said.
Oh my God.
Say that again,
Corey, can you say it again? Say it again, Corey.
No, he's saying, so you're saying just because Jay-Z went through Dame, he could have went through somebody else and been a billionaire as well. That was already written, is what you're saying. It was already written. If Jay-Z wouldn't have went through,
why y'all doing this? What?
No, I'm saying you said it.
We're
Mike.
asking
If
you a
Jay-Z wouldn't have
question.
went through
Nobody said
Dame,
about destiny and predestined and none of that.
you did, Mike. You said if Jay-Z
I'm
wouldn't
saying
have went through.
work ethic is work ethic.
You said if Jay-Z wouldn't have
Work
went
ethic
through
is
Dame,
work ethic. If you lose if you got a great work ethic and you lose your job tomorrow, you'll be able to bounce back.
and you're right, but you said if he wouldn't have went through Dame, he still would have been a billionaire. That's what you just said.
Yes.
Now that's what he said.
Like you just said, he bounced from here to here to here to here till something hit. He would have kept bouncing until something hit.
Right. I mean,
Stop it.
we don't know that.
Stop it.
Right? We don't really know that.
I don't think Mike Check understands how tough it is for a black person to become a billionaire. And you're telling me that it was just written in the stars for Jay-Z to be a billionaire? That's
it could have been
written, man. It was
destiny.
destiny.
Hold on. It could have been written in the stars for Jay-Z to be a trillionaire, but the path he took only made him a billionaire. So now what?
So can I interject?
Go ahead.
All right. So first and foremost, bro, I think the people that are on the left right now, Corey and Joey, I think y'all are forgetting something, bro. Dame Dash wasn't Jay-Z's only obstacle or failure. Do you know what he had to overcome on the path to getting to where he is? You know how much pivoting that he had to do, how much strategy,
how much backstabbing,
how strategic,
how much backstabbing.
Be careful,
Because he
bro.
did a
Somebody on
lot,
the
dog.
podcast talking about somebody on the
Allegedly.
podcast talking. Yeah, bro. You can't talk about what
Allegedly.
that man has done, bro. But my point is
Dog,
this.
the incident where Dame was yelling, that's where Jay-Z backstabbed him. That's why he was yelling
He
in there.
didn't
It's on
backstab him, bro.
video
So
recording.
so 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 let me
It's
explain.
on tape.
Do you know the
Let
story
me
he's
explain.
referring to, Corey? I
I
mean,
know the
do you know the?
exact story that
Okay, go ahead.
he's referring to. So let me tell you what happened. Jay-Z and Dame had a conversation prior to that meeting about the direction of what they wanted to do with Roc-A-Fella Records. Jay-Z had an opportunity to go be the president of Def Jam. Dame wasn't speaking the same language. Jay-Z had to separate himself from who Dame was in order to get to where he wanted to go, to where he had more control, more power. Because Jay-Z's ultimate goal was to get, if you can have your own label, the only thing that's stopping you from getting the biggest return on your investment is having distribution. That's what he was looking for. That's why he took the president of Def Jam Records. So when he did that, he gave Dame the opportunity to take the artist. Whatever artist want to go with you, you can go with you can go with him. Whoever want to rock with me at Def Jam can come rock with me. Right? Jay-Z made those moves. Dame was just talking. So when Dame came to the meeting and shit had changed, Jay-Z made his move and he made it clear what he was gonna do. He
You're just
separated
not gonna
himself
say he
and
did
went
it
to
behind his back. You're just not gonna say that, huh?
what he
You're just not gonna
why
say
would he
it.
do anything? Why would he have to do something behind somebody's back? If I
That's
took
why
if
Dame was
listen, bro,
mad, dog. That's why he was mad. Because he said,
bro,
y'all
only a
doing, why
person
won't
stuck
y'all
in their
talk?
ego, only a weak man and a person stuck in somebody's ego would say that another grown man would have to do anything behind his back. I don't care what type of relationship we
Nah,
got. As a man, if me and you go into business today, right? Part of us going into business is making sure that me, regardless of what you do, I'm going to protect my assets. So whatever you decide to do, I can't say you went behind my back. You did what you had to do, but I'm prepared for that. That's fine. That's not going behind somebody's back.
if we
That's not like
partners,
there's
it
no
is.
loyalty like that, bro. No,
If
it's
we
not. They
partners,
weren't
it is.
partners. They weren't partners. They
You
weren't
sound like
partners.
Jay-Z. You sound like Jay-Z.
Hold on,
We're not
I got
Thank
a
partners.
you.
question. I got a question, Mike. Where
Thank you.
was did Dame still uh was Jay-Z still under Dame and stuff like contract wise, artist wise when that
Jay-Z
happened?
had fulfilled his artist. Jay-Z had fulfilled his artist deal years ago.
So
Jay-Z owned the same amount of Rockefeller that Dame did.
right, so we're
Jay-Z
talking
was
about
signed to himself.
so if I'm not mistaken, we're talking about two different situations. So the
Yeah,
situation that me
Jay-Z
so the situation that me and
Jay-Z
Corey
walked
is
away
talking
from
about.
Rockefeller.
That's
No,
what I thought. We
Jay-Z
had two
walked
different
away from
conversations.
Rockefeller.
I thought too.
So we're
Jay-Z
talking
walked
about
away
two
from
different.
Rockefeller. No, I'm talking about what Corey said. Jay-Z walked away from Rockefeller and they both allowed whatever artist wanted to go with who, they had the choice. And when Dame came to the office a couple weeks after they had that conversation, when he started seeing that some of the staff had made moves and transitions with Jay-Z, he was he was upset because he
I
didn't think
don't
it was
think that
gonna
was that.
happen. He
I
was
don't think that
butthurt.
was that incident. That wasn't
So
that incident, King.
so yeah, so
That
we're
was
talking
the
about
incident.
two.
That's why he walked in.
So we're talking about two different incidents. So Dame
Yeah,
Dash spazzed out many different times.
right.
Many different times. From his mouth, he said that, right? Because he said he had to fight the Caucasian execs because the execs were always trying to get over on him and his artists. So the one we're talking about was um when Dame Dash, when Jay-Z was Dame Dash's artist,
Mm-hmm.
they did a special meeting without Dame Dash knowing. This came
Right.
from Dame Dash, right?
It's on the
So
tape.
then
It's on the
it's on the
videotape.
tape. It's on the videotape. So then Dame Dash started getting really, really angry and calling everybody out. And there's a video on that. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if there was a video from the
Yes,
actual footage of what happened or it was just another footage of Dame spazzing out. So
there was a footage.
so that's what Corey is referring to. That Jay Z like Ben stabbed Dame in the back when he was under him as the artist. Pause. You get what I'm saying? And we don't know what else stabs that Jay-Z did to Dame Dash. We only get, like I said, we only get a little bit from each year. Now we're not saying we're not saying Ken, you're wrong with that situation like that. I heard that story as well, but we're just talking about a different situation that happened.
Do you understand that Jay-Z was never Dame's artist?
So you think Dame is lying with that?
Bro, Jay-Z had as much stake in Roc-A-Fella as Dame. And they had a third member that had a small percentage as well. Jay-Z was signed to himself. They just played different roles.
All right, let me
That
look that
you're
up.
still going under the premise. You're going
We'll,
look it up. You're
we'll
going under
agree
the
to
premise.
disagree.
Yeah, we could
We'll,
agree to disagree.
we'll agree to disagree.
Google's your friend. Go
What's
ahead,
what's
Joseph.
our other topic?
Ask Siri.
What's our other
I just
topic?
want him to say.
D-Wade.
Are you finished? You got it, Joe?
I just
I
looked
Go
it
agree
ahead,
or
up.
read it out
So
disagree
loud,
with
brother.
that. I'm with the title of the show.
No, read it out loud, Joseph.
okay,
You'll notice
so
I only speak on stuff that I know, bro.
no, the two situations that we're talking about, it's still two separate situations. But I just Googled it and it says no, they were not. Jay-Z was not his artist. But he did act like
Told
a
you.
manager, though. He did act like a manager to Jay-Z and gave him opportunities, though.
So
But
He
so
did.
can
just in
we
He
so,
writing,
was
so
so
promoting.
just in writing, he wasn't his artist, but he did things for him as if he was, though. But you're
No, he
right.
promoted the brand and the label, and he was the only artist on the label at the time, brother. Yes, he did that, but he was not his artist. You're making
I
it seem like
know.
go back to your original point. Going back to your
Okay.
original point that wasn't valid. You
put
tried
them
to
on?
make it seem like Dame put Jay-Z on,
He
and you
still
just Googled
did.
it. It
He
wasn't
still
like that.
no, yo,
All
Ken,
right,
let's
brother.
let's 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 dial it back, okay? Everything I said, I still stand by it. The only difference is he wasn't signed. He still did things for him that helped him get where he is. So you can't
Like what?
disregard me just because on
I,
paper he
I
wasn't
didn't.
signed,
I
bro.
didn't. I didn't. I'm not saying that, bro.
So all
Let's
right.
define
So
what let's make sure we're speaking the same language first. Hold up.
okay,
Let's
Yeah.
make
let's
sure
go.
we're speaking the same language.
Let's get it.
What's your definition of putting him on?
Putting him on. My definition is giving a person an opportunity to do better than what they're doing currently.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If we start this podcast right now, right, and we need $1,000, and we all put $250 in, right? So we all have an equal investment. Does this podcast collectively make us better than what we are individually?
Could it? It could. Positive. It could. Possibly. Yeah.
So in a partnership like they were, they need both components in order to build it. Dame didn't have any more stake in that. Dame did not create Jay-Z. The reason why Dame wanted to go with Jay-Z is because Dame couldn't get major distribution himself. He was a drug dealer. Jay-Z gave him an opportunity to get into the record industry because he was a legitimate artist that had offers and label contracts on the table that he just didn't want because he didn't want the splits they were putting out. So they used their money together to create Roc-A-Fella Records. What happened with Roc-A-Fella Records with Jay-Z's role in Roc-A-Fella Records, in addition to being 50-50 stake owner, in addition to the third person that put a little bit of money in with them, was he was going to promote the brand as an artist to get the other attention of other artists. Jay-Z Dame's position was to try to grow the brand, and he did it a different way. Nobody put nobody on. If you listen to Jay-Z, Jay-Z ain't walking around saying that I put Dame on. I started Roc-A-Fella Records. Do you understand? Jay-Z walked away from Roc-A-Fella Records. Dame had it. Dame had it. It was his.
Okay.
He bought him. He paid him. He paid him. Jay-Z paid Dame out of his portion of Roc-A-Fella Records and gave it to Dame Dash. And he started Rock Nation. What he was pissed off is that his first album, because of how Dame struck the deal, Dame owned the masters. And the argument happened because Jay-Z said, man, I gave you the label. I'm going to give you the clothing brand and everything. Just give me my masters back. I don't want that nigga. I'll let you have it all. And uh, Dame was the one that was being an asshole and was holding back on that. So Jay-Z circumvented it. He waited till his money got low, and he found a way to buy back his masters through a different means. After he established Rock Nation, after he was the CEO of Def Jam, the president of Def Jam. So Dame did not make Jay-Z. Jay-Z had a path that he was going to go on, and he went on his path regardless what Dame did or not. Dame had a path too, and it
Okay.
ended. It ended from
Okay.
what we know it as.
So I just got one more question, and then we could go on to the next topic. I just want to get
All
y'all
right.
what y'all think. Okay. So starting off, who was more important, Dame or Jay-Z? That's all I want to know.
I would
Who
say
was
this.
more
There are
of
a
a
lot of
who had more damn,
Dame during
who bring
that time it was Dame during
who
that
bring
time.
more to the table? Like how we like to say to the ladies, who bring more to the table when they first got together?
It was Dame.
Who do you think, Ken?
no, brother. You're asking the same question in the wrong way, in a different way, brother. Um, Jay Z. Jay Z is a
Okay.
once in a lifetime talent. He's not
Let's
just a
agree to
talent. He's a
disagree.
marketing enigma.
All right, who do you think? Who do you think, Mike? Who bring more to the table when they first started out? Because Jay-Z wasn't as impactful when he first started out. He had to change his whole flow and everything. So again, the question is, who was more who was more valuable, Jay or Dame when they first started?
And say all this shit about Jay was a genius and Jay was the king. Dame started Rock-A-Wear.
Yeah,
Jay had nothing to do with it.
yeah.
But being the face of it.
So what I did was wore a t-shirt and I wore a hat. And every market that I went in, all I wore was a t-shirt and a hat and some Timbs and some Nike Airs and got it popping that way.
He go to Biggs and he go to Jay. Yo, we gonna start a clothing line. Rock-A-Wear. Biggs says, that's
Talking down.
you sit there and say all this shit about Jay was a genius and Jay.
Sound like Dame to me. I don't agree, but sound like Dame was
I
more.
disagree with.
I rest my case.
No, brother. Rock-A-Wear clothing would not be what it
Y'all
was
just heard him
without
say it.
Jay-Z.
How you said no? You just heard him say it. You just heard him say it, dog. How you still saying no?
I didn't hear Jay-Z say anything. You talking about choke no joke, choke no
And
hope, no joke, whatever it
Dame
is.
was saying it. I wore the hat. I did this. I was marking. He's saying it. They was dissing Dame back then. They was dissing him.
Let me explain, bro.
Let's agree to disagree, man.
They were
we could
dissing.
agree to
Let
disagree.
me
Next
let me
topic.
give you more details. They were dissing Dame because they knew Jay-Z was whack back then.
Right.
He was
Back
rapping
then.
too fast. They didn't like him. And guess what? Dame put his
That's the truth. He had to slow his flow down and everything. That's the truth. That's why, like I said, Nas said it. He went from hanging with Jazzo to Big Daddy Kane to Irv Gotti to Biggie to this is all he do to R. Kelly. He just jumped from person to person, and nobody is seeing this.